welcome to World of Press. I am Sangeeta De. Hitler's entity of Jewish lineage has been one of the considerably prominent conspiracy hypotheses which have raised many eyebrows in the past. The conspiracy theory of Hitler's entity being Jewish was a famous one that had originated during the World War II. Hitler's father, Alois, was an illicit child and his father was anonymous. It was believed that Hitler's grandfather was of Jewish lineage, giving rise to Adolf's part Jewish. Knowing the greatest dictator, Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler is one of the most notable and disliked figures. He was the supreme inventor of the Second World War. Hitler enrolled in what would become the Nazi Party in October 1919. He assisted ad-lib the party's political strategy in 1920. The strategy was established on racialist, anti-Semitism, expansionist nationalism and anti-immigrant resentment. His anti-Semitic programs led to the extinction of more than 6 million Jews during the awful Holocaust executed by his followers, securing his reputation as one of the most notorious men in history. A fascinating orator, Hitler gave away revolutionary nationalism and virulently anti-Semitic feelings, based largely on the erroneous concept that Jews were liable for Germany's downfall in World War I and that Germany's superiority would be reclaimed by the terminating Jews and other secondary races as well as political adversaries of Nazism and other unsuitable components from society. Historical data about Hitler's ancestry. As most of us know, Adolf Hitler was practically Adolf Schicklgruber or Adolf Hitler. His father, Alois, was bred out of marriage to Maria Anna Schicklgruber and given her last name. However, when he was approximately 40 years old, Alois pronounced to accept his stepfather's last name, Johann Georg Hitler, who some theorized was his birth father. On the legal reports, Hitler got the new last name. Though the justification for the spelling change is unspecified, Alois Hitler was wedded twice and had several kids before accepting Clara Pozol as his third wife. The pair had 6 children, though only Adolf and a sister attained adultness. Adolf had a complicated relationship with his father, who departed in 1903. He cherished his mother and was reportedly miserable after her death from breast cancer in 1907. Examining the recent hustle-bustle over Hitler's Jewish lineage. Participating in an old conspiracy hypothesis, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov confessed that Adolf Hitler had Jewish blood, spurring debate. The conspiracy hypothesis of Hitler's entity being Jewish was a famous one that had originated during Second World War. Hitler's father, Alois, was an unlawful child, and his father was anonymous. It was assumed that Hitler's grandfather was of a Jewish lineage, giving rise to Adolf part Jewish. At the center of the war between Russia and Ukraine, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov arrested Nazi dictator Adolf Hitler, implying that the politician had Jewish origins. This comment has now prompted a lot of controversies. Sergei Lavrov made the statements to nationalize Russia's image of Ukraine as Nazi, even though its president is Jewish. Mr. Lavrov commented in an interview session on the Italian TV program Zona Bianca on Sunday, days after Israel commemorated Holocaust Remembrance Day. one of the most dignified events in the Israeli calendar. When asked how Russia can assert that it is combating to denazify Ukraine when President Volodymyr Zelensky is Jewish, Mr. Lavrov stated, I could be mistaken, but Hitler also had Jewish blood. Implies absolutely nothing. Wise Jewish people say that the most ardent anti Semites are usually Jews. This proclamation glinted massive acrimony and objection from the international world governors and put forward a question about the actual origins of Hitler, which were not anticipated. Further, the statements by Lavrov over the weekend have endangered diplomatic relations between Russia and Israel as the Jewish community in the country feels humiliated by the statement, dubbing the assertion of the Russian minister unforgivable. Such fibs are aimed to indict the Jews themselves of the most dreadful infractions in history perpetrated against them. Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett declared in a statement soliciting an apology. He said such untruths are meant to indict the Jews themselves for the direst crimes in history and thus exempt the intimators of the Jews from their accountability. No conflict today is the Holocaust or is like the Holocaust. Israeli Foreign Minister Yair Lapid responded angrily, dubbing Mr. Lavrov's statement as unforgivable. In a video talk, President Zelensky said, I have no information. No one has listened to any contradiction or any rationale from Moscow. All we have from there is silence. The Ukrainian president declared that the stillness demonstrates the Russian leadership had either ignored all the lessons of the World War II or possibly they have never understood those lessons. Ukraine's foreign minister criticized Mr. Lavrov, telling that his comments were an indication of Russia's own deep rooted anti Semitism. US State Department Representative Nate Price told Mr. Lavrov's statements exhibited the inferior form of prejudice and insidious lies. He said that the Kremlin is invariably verifying that there is no bottom when it arrives just to show how low they can stoop down. Mr. Lavrov's assertions are the latest illustration of that. The BBC's John Donison in Jerusalem explains the response's resilience, indicating just how deeply shocking and unconscionable Mr. Lavrov's statements will be to Jews, both in Israel and around the globe. Over the later months, Israel, which has an enormous Russian population, has attempted at times to work as an arbitrator between Russia and Ukraine. This is all for now. If you want to know more about this news, then don't forget to check worldpress.com where we share some unbiased news. And if you like this video, then click the like icon and share this video with your friends and family, and also subscribe to our channel World Press. Thank you.